Welcome to this easy deck build. My tiny home needed more outdoor living space, so I decided to build a no digging floating deck. This deck can go in any yard, anywhere, and it's a lot easier than you might think, considering this was my first one. So today we're going to cover ground prep and footers, post and hardware, and setting up the doubled up beams. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this easy deck build, part 1. The first thing we want to do is measure out where our deck is going to be. Batter boards and string makes this process easy, accurate, and adjustable. Measure from 2 opposite corners to get the same measurement.
We're gonna adjust this guy a little bit. This corner's off, just a little over here.
In case you were wondering, footers provide a stable base. Your posts transfer the deck's weight down from the beams to the footers, and the beams carry the joist and the deck's load. They all work together as a unified system.
That's pretty good. Okay, we'll take it.
Next, I marked where my footers or bases will go. Since I'll have 2 rows of 5 and my deck is 8 feet deep, I marked 2 feet from the edge, then 4 feet from the footers, leaving another 2 feet of cantilever on each edge. My footers will be 4 feet apart on the long edge, and then the ends will be tucked in 1 foot. And just to be safe, make sure you check with your local building code for acceptable parameters. Batterbirds have been the standard for years, so I really wanted to use them. But I'll be using a 3D laser level to keep my measurements and lines honest, but more on that later. Now for the surface prep. Let's make sure the ground is properly compacted and ready to accept the footers.
For the base of our deck, I'm gonna be using this really cool product called CAMO Blocks. I've heard a lot of really good things about them. They're really strong, and I didn't want to pour concrete because we may move this in the future. So I wanted this to be kind of temporary, but as strong as possible. So based on the reviews and everything, I went with these. I'm really excited to use them. They just require a little ground prep to make sure they're level.
It's very important to make sure everything is as level as possible. Footers can be at different heights, but where they are has to be flat. If you're enjoying this deck building adventure, consider subscribing so we can continue to bring you more content just like this. And thank you for watching. This step took the most time, but I'm pretty sure it's the most important. So I made sure to check level every step of the way. It's rewarding though when it all lines up.
All right, I wanted to share with you a really cool trick that a couple of YouTubers seem to be using, and probably professionals as well. So this is called a storyboard right here. And in order to know how long your posts have to be, you gotta know what's going on top of it. So here, for instance, I know my decking is 1 inch tall, or 1 inch high. My joist, I'm using 2x8s, and they're actually 7.25 inches high. And then my beams are down here. I'm using 2x10s for my beams, and they're 9.5 inches tall. And then my posts are gonna be down here. And my laser level is corresponding with this line, and it's gonna run all the way down to each one of my posts. So it doesn't matter how long your posts are, as long as you know this is what's gonna be on top of it, you're good to go.
The laser makes it really easy to mark each post where you will make your cuts. If you don't have one, that's okay. Just rely on a storyboard, a ruler, your batter boards, and a string. Ever since I was young, I've always wanted to build a deck. So this project really means a lot to me. I'm especially proud to share it here with you. So I genuinely hope you enjoy it as well. Once we had our measurements for our post height, I transferred them onto the 4x4s. I cut them in half earlier to make them more manageable for precise cuts. A miter saw is a tool I especially recommend. It's really great for creating accurate, repetitive cuts.
It's recommended that you treat your cuts on your pressure treated wood because the inside of the wood isn't protected, it's not sealed, so this is a way to ensure its longevity.
It may sound obvious, but it is so important that your posts are lined up in a perfectly straight line. Some use a tight string for this, but since I'm just a beginner, I'll let the laser keep me in line. Also, I may have went a little overboard, but I applied footer base and tamped the ground multiple times just to be sure it was all level. If you're interested in this laser from DeVoe, I have a link in the description. A really cool feature of the CAMO block is that unlike concrete, the footers are not permanent and can move around if need be. So if you go to set your beams on top and one is out of line, you can easily adjust them into place.
Now that we've got all of our posts in place, we're gonna be using this type of post cap hardware that sets right down on top of here, and you're gonna nail it in with structural screws and structural nails, and then your beams are gonna rest right on top of this. You're gonna do the same, and then it makes a really rigid structure. Since my deck is gonna be 16 feet wide, I chose to use 2 8-foot sections of my beams. And normally you can have your post 4 feet apart, obviously check your code, but where I am, I can have them 4 feet apart. So I added another one here, so my beams will rest halfway out on the post. And then I'm gonna add structural screws along this beam to ensure that it's rigid and one strong piece.
I wanted to double up my beams and use 2x10s. That may be a little overkill and you don't necessarily have to use 2, but then I just remember my family will be using this deck, so sturdier the better. The deck really started to take place when the beams went in. It actually started to look like I knew what I was doing. Some of my wood had warped a bit, so I used clamps to force them together, where I then screwed them in snug. Then I just set the rest of the boards on the post, screwed them in together, and attached them all to the hardware, and that straightened them out. Pressure treated wood can stand up to the elements, but it warps because it's wet, so it's kind of a battle, and I haven't figured out exactly how to keep them straight. So I used clamps to force them together, where I then screwed them in snug. Then I just set the rest of the boards on the post, screwed them in together, and attached them to the hardware. I made sure to check if everything was level every step of the way, for my paver stand, footers, post, and beams. It's very rewarding when you see that bubble line up in between those two lines, especially the further along you get. To be honest, I was really nervous about this build, but once I started working on it, I realized just how easy this deck was going to be. Don't get me wrong, it had its challenges, but it was nothing me or you couldn't get through. If I can do it, so can you. So thanks for hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed this portion of the build. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to work on the frame, the joist, and the decking.